that a gram? New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice.
What do you think?
Nice.
So why don't you just turn it up and sing along? I wake up, work hard at what I do.
What's up, y'all?
Pay bills and go to school and do my best to love. I hate perfectionism. It's just a waste of time. Unwanted criticism.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Logan here. We're here with Nike FLIPSIDE 3 and the Asic MetaSpeed Sky Paris. We want to say a quick disclosure saying that these shoes were bought with our own money and no other influences like companies are telling us to make this video or we'll get to look at this video. So this is our full opinion on the Nike FLIPSIDE and Asic MetaSpeed Sky Paris.
And you may be wondering why we don't have the Asic MetaSpeed Sky Paris with us right now, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yep. So yeah, moving forward, we're going to talk about what's in this video. So we're going to be talking about the specs of the Asics, the specs of the Alphaflies, and talk about a race me and him did together, where we race in the shoes against each other. Then we're going to go to head-to-head comparison with a point system, saying which one does better, which one weighs less, which one costs more, and give it points like if the Asics cost less, they'll get a point, so forth. Then we're going to go down to talking about our opinions and which one overall will be the best pick for certain runners and which one will work the best. So moving towards the specs of the Asics.
All right, yeah, so we'll just go into the specs of the Asics. So we don't have the MetaSpeed Sky Paris with us right now, but I'm sure Logan can manage to edit that in.
Bang.
Yeah, so just some pretty standard specs on this. So it's got a 39.5 millimeter heel stack height, going down to 34.5 millimeters in the toe, 5 millimeter drop there. The shoe itself is about 6.5 ounces.
Isn't it the lightest shoe on market?
I do believe it is one of the lightest. I think maybe the Adidas
EVA ones.
EVA
right?
ones are slightly lighter, but other than that, it is the lightest shoe that you can get.
For its price point, what's its price point right now?
It's $250. It's good solid price point there. Lot cheaper than some of the other shoes on the market. Cheaper than say like the Alphafly 3s.
Yeah, these are sitting at $285 right now.
Yeah, I think Asics has just made some great updates with this. The FF Turbo Plus foam just added some added responsiveness. A lot lighter than the previous version too. I think they dropped about 22 grams, which I don't know exactly how much that is in ounces, but that's a significant difference. I'm sure we can put the difference in ounces up there too.
Which I'll put right here. Bang.
Yeah, so then if you kind of look at the bottom of it, it's definitely got a little bit more of a narrow feel, a lot more foot conforming shape. The upper, Motion Wrap 2.0, the upper's really snug, but also super light and breathable. That's another great improvement that they've made there.
Yeah, the upper is pretty good because I've seen a lot of triathletes use that shoe a lot, which is pretty nice. And they go barefoot most of the time, so it must be a comfortable upper.
Yeah, I feel like it's very, like, just trying it on, it's a very foot conforming upper. The shape of the shoe itself very, very much kind of mirrors like the natural like foot shape, so it's not like overly wide or anything. So
yeah, it is definitely on the narrow side, I feel like.
Yeah. Then just one other major thing is just kind of what distinguishes this from its shall we say sister shoe, the MetaSpeed Edge Paris, which is pretty similar but not the same. Most of the specs are the same: weight, stack height, pretty much everything else. The main difference is the carbon plate that runs along the shoe. For the MetaSpeed Sky Paris, it's a little bit flatter, a little bit higher up in the foam.
Yeah, it's more towards your foot more. Like if on the diagram right here, I have an arrow pointing at it, so like the Sky Paris will be right here, edge Paris right here, you see the edge kind of slopes down towards the bottom of the shoe, with the sky being towards your foot more. So you might get that more of a squish from the foam, but then you get that pop from the plate, while you get that instant pop in the edge, as you can see in our diagram right here.
Yeah, and then you're really getting that extra pop from the edge is really coming from that more aggressively curved plate in the edge.
Which is also kind of the same way the Nike Vaporfly has its plate. Its plate swoops down right to the bottom of the sole.
Yeah, so really the difference between like the edge and the sky is kind of like, it's almost like an Alphafly, Vaporfly kind of difference.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. Alright, moving towards the Alphafly 3 and the specs. So indeed, we do have the Alphafly 3 with us today, so we could use this. Also, if this is too small, we will have a bigger picture, which you'll be seeing now. I'm just talking about what's in this thing. So we do have a ZoomX foam with a newer geometry than usual. It's pretty weird looking, but it does everything that you want to do and just go fast. So looking underneath it, we do have some rubber, a lot of rubber up in the forefoot, barely any in the heel, because this shoe will require you to be a forefoot striker, not a heel striker.
Yeah, it's very aggressive shoe. Definitely more designed for people with good form, those high performance elite runners. So
exactly. Like speaking of elite runners, this shoe is gonna be best for the people who are doing marathons and setting PBs or PRs, whatever you want to say. And so moving towards the forefoot, as we're speaking, more rubber, and there's more cushion between the road or the tarmac, where you want to say, between the AirPods and the road. So you're gonna have less punctures, less deflating, so you know that this is gonna have more protection than its other two rubbers. And yes, we do have two air pucks still in both the right and left side of the shoe. Then also behind all of that, we have a fly plate, also, which is Nike's carbon plate. So the cool part about Fly Plate is the most responsive carbon plate I've ever felt in my whole entire life. It is one of the best plates I ever raced in. But moving towards the upper now, this is their 3.0 Abnett. This is the most breathable Abnett they had. They keep the sock-like features up top, slides right on, and it's just the best heel lock you'll ever feel. Your feet are not slipping out of the shoe anytime soon. They are keeping the same laces where they're not, but moving towards the stack height of this shoe, stack height in the heel is 40 millimeters in the heel, then in the forefoot is 32 millimeters, making it an 8 millimeter drop, and the overall weight of the shoe in a size 10.5 men's is 221 grams or 7.8 ounces. That is a pretty light shoe for how much technology is in here, because this shoe is also sitting at a hefty price of $285, or you want the special edition like this Paris Olympic colorway, that's an extra $15 leaving your bank account, which is kinda, I don't like that. So let's go into some racing facts or some racing opinions that we did together at Lake Lansing Relay, held by Playmakers. Okay, moving forward in the video, we're going to be talking about our racing experience from Lake Lansing Relay, presented by Playmakers, which actually paid for our race, which was really kind of them. So let's just go over what we had to go through that race. So it was 5 miles and a quarter, so it was pretty nice, a little over a 8K and a little under a 10K. So we had to race in different terrains of grass, sidewalks, tarmac.
Had some trail running too. That was pretty interesting. I mean,
very interesting, especially the wooden bridge.
Oh yeah, that wooden bridge was crazy. I mean, like
it was like bending upward. It was nails sticking out. I was scared for these shoes, the Alphafly 3s. I thought I was gonna pop an AirPod. I was so scared because I was like, I spent $300 on these shoes. I better not pop an AirPod.
Oh yeah, and I was just thinking, man, is this bridge gonna hold up? Like, I mean, it's kind of moving around. It just I wasn't sure about that bridge. Felt a little bit sketchy. But
yeah, it was very sketchy. A running experience. I think the Alphafly 3, I think I had, but definitely an advantage on the road. I think you were doing pretty good too. But I think with Alphafly 3 just having more technology, I think I was able to maintain a faster pace. Like we were going like sub 5:20 pace majority of the race, And I kept on looking at my watch because I was like, we're going way too slow. And I'm like, oh crap, we're going 5:15. I thought we were going 6:30. And these shoes just made it seem way too easy. So it was just an interesting feeling of just like, okay, I'm going too slow. Then obviously I was not going slow. I was like, it was just a weird experience for my part.
Yeah, I felt like the Asics, they were definitely giving a good energy return, and the lightness was very nice, but I felt like maybe the amount of energy return wasn't quite as good as like some of the other shoes that I've worn in the past. Like I know I've been racing a lot in the Endorphin Elites in the past, and I felt like maybe the Asics didn't get quite as much energy return, not quite as powerful of like a toe off for me. I don't know, I think part of that, we'll get into this a little bit later, but I think part of that was just the way my gait cycle was just a little bit off. Didn't quite maximize the possible energy return from the shoes. So
yeah, so I think where Broly was coming in hand, because this shoe is a higher stack height of a shoe compared to the Asic MetaSpeed Sky Paris. I think like the crazier part, or not the crazier part, but like I think the part where you were taking advantage of the race was the dirt trails and the grass, because I feel like you were having better control over your shoe, while I was kind of like teeter-tottering, like I'm on a beam, almost like a bouncing beam from gymnastics. I feel like I was on a bouncing beam like that, where I was just trying to like not roll an ankle. Well, I feel like you were in control, which made it hard for me to stay with you during those portions of the race.
yeah, I felt like, yeah, that was one thing I noticed with the Asics was actually a lot better than some of the other shoes I've raced in, is it did have a pretty good grip around turns, on trails, things like that. Like I felt like I was getting better grip, didn't feel quite as unstable, but yeah, definitely felt like I took good advantage of that as much as I could during the race, but it was ultimately not enough to win the race, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll have some chances to race against this guy in cross country season, and
Oh yeah.
I'll get him a few times there. So.
Oh, I'm not gonna let that be easy though.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't doubt that, but we'll see. It's gonna be a good season, but I think I've got a good chance of winning some races out there. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I believe in you, man. And kind of going towards winning races in the Lake Lansing relay, I did overcome Broly, beating him by 20, right? Around 20 seconds-ish.
Yeah.
During the race. That was the last mile to go, and I was able to pull forward with these shoes and just gun it. So if you're a big kicker, these shoes can honestly go with you and even faster. Like I was pushing the pace, and I was going probably sub 5-minute miles for the last mile, and I was able to maintain that for the whole last mile to be able to win the race. And Broly was right behind me too with this shoe, so just thinking about this, I think each shoe is great in their own way, and I think it's time to go in the point system and which one has the better outcomes or better specs from the other shoe. So going forward in this, we'll just go with this. Price-wise, which one costs less?
I mean, obviously that would be the Asics. So point for Asics over here.
Yeah, we put the points in, so we have Asics and we have FLIPSIDE here for points. We're gonna give a point for Asics for this, 250 for Asics, 285 plus, depending on what color you get, for the FLIPSIDE.
Well, I feel like availability is also kind of one of those things, and I mean, I don't think we score that as a separate thing, but I think that's just something to consider as well. Whereas the Nikes are a lot harder to get and they're more expensive, the Asics are definitely a lot cheaper and then also a little bit easier to find.
So going towards, I guess, responsiveness, which one's more responsive?
I mean, I would say that would be the Nike. Definitely felt like, from my perspective at least, it looks a lot more responsive. I tried it on a couple times. It felt just a little bit more responsive than the Asics. So.
and just having the AirPods and everything, I think just, and also technology-wise, I think this will get points. So it's 1-1, but then we go to this. Which one is layered?
I mean, I think again that would be MetaSpeed Sky Paris. I mean, 6.5 ounces. That's just crazy light. I mean,
Compared, this is 7.2 ounces.
There's almost nothing like that in the market. Really, the only other shoe you can get with the same kind of lightweight feel would be the Evo 1, and that's a one-time racing shoe. So that's really
Not
like
just one-time racing shoe. It's also $500 for it.
yeah. That's crazy. I mean, like if you're gonna get that shoe, you gotta be basically a pro runner. You gotta make that one race count. So I think definitely in terms of light shoes that more than just the pro runners are going to use, definitely the Asics is probably the best shoe there. So
I think moving to the next category, which one's more breathable?
this is a tough one. I mean, I feel like they're both pretty breathable.
I think it could be a tie. I'm gonna let's give it a tie. Points for both.
Yeah, I feel like definitely, because the Atom Knit upper is very light, very breathable, but
It's basically just a bunch of holes.
yeah, I felt like though the Asics, the upper on that too, was also very breathable. Didn't have any issues with the breathability. So
Okay, so let's go for tie of that one. I guess we go this. Who won Lake Lansing?
I mean that'd be Logan in the Nikes. I mean I'll get him next race, but yeah, we'll see. I might have to get him out for a marathon and race him there. But
So a point for FLIPSIDE there. So yeah, so there's your so that's our point system. Let us know you like that segment. Leave a comment down below and leave a like if you do like that for sure. So moving towards our opinion of the shoe. Well, both our opinions about the shoes. I think my opinion about this shoe is gonna be pretty biased because this is now my favorite race day shoe for everything. For 5K and up. Definitely want to try to do a marathon of these in the future with Brody and see how that turns out. My first favorite shoe was definitely the Adidas Pro 3s, but those have been replaced with this shoe, and I think this is probably the best shoe in the market. It's a little biased because I love it, but that's my opinion. I just love this shoe. I don't really have any hatred or I guess any cons I would point out, because I think everything just worked so well and I have no negative feelings towards it. After racing it and doing some tempo runs, it's just probably the best race day shoe with a carbon plate, or best shoe with a carbon plate I ever tried.
yeah, and then for me, I think the Asics is definitely really. Alright, so sorry, apparently our camera died. I didn't realize it until after we had done the full opinion. But so we'll just be doing the Asics MetaSpeed Sky Paris opinion here at Playmakers. Thank you for letting us use this space. And so overall, my opinion of the shoe was pretty positive. Felt like the upper was good. Definitely really loved the laces. Felt like the energy return I got from the shoe was pretty good. I did have one problem with it though, which was just, for me, the foot frame was a little bit too narrow, which I tend to overpronate a little bit, so that definitely led to a little bit of extra overpronation, a little bit too much strain on the calf and on the shin. So overall, I'd say it's a really good shoe, but definitely more for like a neutral foot. And so it's a good shoe, but it just didn't work well for me.
Hey, what's up y'all? Post-production Logan here. I'm actually finishing editing the video right now and it looks pretty good, so hopefully guys you liked it. So if you liked it, please subscribe, like, leave a comment down below saying applesauce if you made it this far. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the camera dying. Next time we will be more professional and not have cameras die and redo takes so we don't have this type of issue again. But thanks for watching or coming this far and watching. I do want to leave a quick hint on a future video that I'm making right now, which is for Kentucky, which is the biggest race in the nation. just some hints. We had tons of PRs, and it was just a fun trip. So stay tuned. It's like a little mini doc. See you guys on the flip side.